infrastructure on Pulse Chain. Whereas with USDC, I feel like it's much more likely that USDC and Circle adopt Pulse Chain much faster because they don't need that because they're centralized. So literally, they can just slap a smart contract on Pulse Chain, say, hey guys, this is the brand new USDC. You can send it to Coinbase. We accept it. We're good. Off you go. They could probably onboard Pulse Chain in a couple of weeks if they really wanted to. So I'm super bullish on USDC eventually coming to Pulse Chain. Probably not. I don't think DAI will, but who knows?
Well, and perhaps Liquid Loans with their stable coin will fill that same niche that DAI filled, because they have USDL and everything. So
that's likely. Yeah, correct. Like, yeah, USDL will replace DAI on Pulse Chain. Correct. I would see that happening. Yeah.
The other thing I found interesting in my very, very brief, peek down this rabbit hole of DAI is that during time, it was my previous understanding, I think this is false. I previously thought that during times when Ethereum was more volatile, that DAI didn't hold its peg. But when I actually looked back, I think I may have been thinking about some other stablecoin, or it hasn't happened for a long time because the last couple of major dips, like the times when ETH has gone down like 90% or it's gone down like 70%, DAI actually traded at a premium during that time. So it went up to like $1.05 or something. When the actual collateral that was backing it crashed because it was over collateralized and there were mechanisms in place to hold its peg no matter what, which is super fascinating. So that's encouraging too. So yeah, I mean, with that being said, like holding, I mean, and it really depends, like, if somebody's retired from crypto, if like, it's just, I'm finding myself at this point where like I'm rechecking in on this idea of what am I supposed to be doing with, the 6 months of living expenses I've got in stables right now, like, in my, my money that can't go to zero. Like what am I supposed to be doing with that for the fork?
Don't touch it. If it is your rent money and you've got it in USDC and MetaMask and like you need that shit for rent, like, don't swap it. Don't touch it for the fork. In my opinion, if you need that to eat food, just leave it alone. Just let it ride.
So it's not better to turn it to DAI.
Oh, no, well, I'm a Coinbase customer and I use USDC and I have the Coinbase debit card and I spend them. So I like USDC. I would never use DAI because you can't redeem them. So DAI is for using on dexes and swapping and tethering out. But I don't know. I'm USDC all the way, or Gemini dollar as a close second.
There's a question here that I think is important. Thanks for the $9.99 super chat. The question from Joe Dirtwin is, what if I get a copy of my USDC on Pulse Chain and then bridge in my Ethereum USDC and pair them in a liquidity pool? May not be redeemable by Circle, but it should have a value. The problem is if you're the provider on both sides of that trade, people like Johnny Chaos and everybody else who's super smart will come along and they'll take all of your bridged in Ethereum USDC and leave you with extra worthless USDC. And I'm just joking around. I love Johnny. He was on Hex Therapy last week, but I also heard that like he set some sort of like limit order and got somebody to buy $5 Hex. So I give him even more props for that. So just anybody so there will be opportunities like that for people to make money off of like noob mistakes. And that would be definitely a mistake to pair those two things together in a two-sided liquidity pool, because one, and that's really a good example of how we need to understand providing liquidity. If you're providing for two things that don't have an established value yet and are still in price discovery, it could be a trap where you're suffering impermanent loss. And normally, because you're always joining pools that have already been created or things that already have a value, you wouldn't lose as much as you would lose. This is like the like negative 99%, negative 100% play that you could do. Like, I would not recommend that.
Yeah, because Joe Dirtwin, just to answer your, what'll happen is if you do that, if you put in $1,000 EUSDC and $1,000 PUSDC into PulseX as a liquidity provider, what's going to happen is a guy like me is going to come along and I'm going to take my PUSDC and I'm going to freaking like dump it and I'm going to sell it and I'm going to suck out the EUSDC out of your liquidity pair. And then I'm going to take those coins and I'm going to go to Coinbase and spend them. And then you're going to be left holding this PUSDC that you can't redeem anywhere. So yeah, that's totally, that's why you don't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, unless, I don't know, maybe you could do some weird thing where you like provide $200 of one-sided liquidity and then just like leave it in there forever so that like until it gets invalidated, it'll have like a fraction of a penny value. I don't know. Just being creative here.
Yeah, possible. If enough liquidity and trades happen, I mean, you could pump the PUSDC price. I mean, maybe it could hit a nickel or a dime. I mean, who knows? Yeah, crazier shit's happened.
Yeah. Okay. So keeping stables is the way to go. Not swapping it for hex, not messing around with DAI.
Yeah, if it's rent money or important money, then do not. In my opinion, don't swap it. Don't touch it. Just let it ride. But if it is investment money, if this is just money that you're trying to make more money on and make more gains, I would get out of a stable before the fork. And to offer a third option for people, if you don't like US dollar coins, Gemini from the Winklevoss twins, they have the Gemini dollar. I think it's GUSD. So that's also an option too.
What do you see the risk of that as? Like, how is that different than USDC other than it's just controlled by a different group?
Yeah, it's just pick your counterparty. Do you prefer Circle or do you prefer the Winklevoss twins? Whatever. Brian Armstrong, Winklevi. Yeah, same.
It's not Brian Armstrong.
Oh, no. Oh, that's right. True. Circle's not technically part of Coinbase. You're right.
Who is it that owns like everything in crypto?
Richard Hart?
No, there's some guy.
What?
It's gonna bother me now. I'm gonna have to look it up somehow.
What do you mean? Who owns it? Who owns it?
No, there's somebody who owns like all the different like investments, all the different companies and stuff. They're like, I'll look it up. Put me on the spot here. Block one. Top 5 Bitcoin investors. Barry Silbert, that's who I'm thinking of. Digital Currency Group, who owns Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust, Coinbase, and CoinDesk.
Barry Silbert, that guy on Twitter?
Yeah, he's low key, but he owns everything.
I had no idea he owned everything. That guy's a fucking donk.
Okay, he's invested in 168 blockchain and cryptocurrency related companies.
Jesus, talking about investing in every shitcoin out there. God damn.
Yeah.
These are companies. These aren't even coins.
They own Grayscale, GBTC, which holds 25 billion in Bitcoin as of April 23rd, 2022. Let me see. Genesis is a liquidity provider. I'm gonna look up like Barry Silbert infographic so it'll give people an idea.
I muted that guy so long ago because his tweets were dumb. I had no idea he owned all this stuff. Lols. No, hey, just because he owns it all doesn't mean he knows what's happening, I doubt that guy sacrificed for Pulse Chain or PulseX. He doesn't know what's coming.
Dude, wait till you see this. This is epic. Yeah. Actually, show me this. There you go. Dude, so I guess they own / created like Etherscan, what they hold Nomics, like freaking CoinDesk, BitGo, like I'm just looking through these.
Ledger.
Yeah, dude. Bitcoin China, Coinbase.
Oh God.
Just yell them out. BitPay, Wire.
Wow.
Dude, and that's like the worst. I don't know. Maybe if you're already a Bitcoin billionaire, then like it's not the worst investment to like develop the ecosystem, but he could have just put his money into Bitcoin or something.
Totally. Or Ethereum. He should have just bought a shit ton of Ethereum. He would have made more money than all these companies, half of which are going to go to zero and close in the next 2 years anyway.
Yeah.
God dang. I haven't even heard of like 90% of the names on this list. Like, I have no idea what any of this junk, well, except for the big ones, but I've never heard of these products or services.
Yeah.
God
Crazy.
dang. Yeah, that's quite the that's like shotgun investment style. It's like I'm just gonna buy stock in every blockchain company. If you've got the word block, it's like 2017 all over again. If you got the name blockchain in it, man, your stock is going up. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Digital currency group. Good to know about.
Oh boy. It's like the big conglomerate. It's like the the megacorp of crypto.
Yeah. I don't see Hex on here. I wonder why. I guess they couldn't buy in with such low liquidity.
Yeah, I don't even see Uniswap on here either. Or any decent competitor.
Uniswap like got bought up by Andreessen Horowitz, who was rumored, like all those uni tokens.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, what exchanges do they have here? Well, they have the Wires and On-Ramp. That's cool that they have that we use sometimes. Eris X, I've heard of that. Like Toby Wan has talked about that. Bitflyer, I've heard of. BTC China, of course. I like that company.
Shapeshift, Kraken,
Circle.
Coinbase.
There, Circle, Shapeshift. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So they're invested in those guys too.
But where's their real decentralized exchange? Well, they're not going to bet against their own book, it seems.
I know, right?
Which is weird, though. It's still weird.
Oh, Ripple's on there for banking and payment. Oh my God. See, I knew Barry Silver was an idiot. All right. I feel way better now. All right.
Yeah.
Good. I may not be a billionaire, but man, I know how to pick better crypto than a lot of these guys. That's for sure. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's helpful to like talk about all of the stablecoin business and that kind of thing. Shout out to everybody in the live stream chat, watching on the replay. Hit the like and subscribe button. Subscribe to David Feeder's channel in the links below. We also have links to the guests that we had on earlier, the Free Pulse and P33 projects. Both have their links in the description below. Trying to get to 10,000 subscribers for some reason. It's unclear.
Okay,
They have to be quality subscribers. They can't be noobs who don't care about anything. Big difference.
Yeah, we're getting close. Very soon.
So let's see. What other? So we talked about so like Ether Rocks. Yeah, going back to like the Richard NFT, like Ether Rocks was a thing. This is going to be Richard's Rocks. And it's going to be the Space Diamond themed. He said that like he'll take a picture of it, make it into an NFT. So That'd be pretty cool. What else did he talk about on the live stream? He started to talk about some of the game theory behind the wallet that he would create, which we think is going to be the
Yes.
next sacrifice phase. And, but then
That
he
was
kind of
cool.
stopped himself and said that he didn't want to give away all the alpha to
features. Yeah,
people.
because he was listing them. He's like, you'll be able to see all your wallets on one screen. You'll be able to send multi-transactions in one click. Like, oh, it's like things MetaMask is so far away from. Like, it's, oh, dude, it's so bullish. I was getting so much FOMO when he was saying that.
Yes, me too.
It's like quality
And,
of life improvements, just as a MetaMask user would be very nice.
So he said he already hired one dev for this, and that he has, how many did he say? 17 devs in total?
Or 15 or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Pretty close.
That's a lot more than the 5 he had previously.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. They are very hard at work getting things ready.
He discouraged anybody from giving the developers conjugal visits.
Yes. No fun for those guys. Nope. They don't go on Telegram. They don't go on YouTube. There's no conjugal visits. There's no drugs or alcohol. Those guys are just literally keyboard and screen and just get to work, boys. Yep.
And yeah, so those were some of the takeaways. He definitely said some inappropriate things that I just think are funny and like don't bother me. You're early when the founder is willing to say so many things that are gonna split the audience. But I also thought it was like it was so genuine. Like if you got past the butt hurt of like, oh, current billionaires aren't going to want to buy our bags because Richard talked about his junk and stuff. Like, like if you just like go with that for a minute, the billionaires are going to buy your bags, and people could be patient. I mean, it was a really genuine thing for like Richard to go on there and like get kind of grilled about his weight and his diet or lack thereof and all that kind of stuff. I mean, like I was happy to hear him kind of like change the subject after a while, but it kind of went on for quite a long time where people were grilling him about that. I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Many a diet tip was shared.
And I know that that somebody in the community here who might still be in the live stream or was here earlier, Jim Rat Crypto, is doing a fitness challenge that people can download a certain type of app and or I guess follow along with the competition where people can decide to lose weight or bulk up or both. My kind of like quick 30-second hex therapy take on this is, having that group support is essential. It can be extremely motivating, and having the structure that you could get from an activity like this. I hope that there are like many of these types of group fitness challenges